was the first of its kind. The Police Memorial Fest was held to honor late Youngsville police officer Randy Guidry.
He was a dedicated police officer, dedicated not only to the police department but to his family.
Officer Guidry passed away due to COVID.
It's been almost 10 months, and there's still people that think of him and remember him, and that's such a blessing.
Tell your kids you love them every day, because one day they're here and the next day they're gone, and I'm living the experience of that right now.
To honor his life, the event raised donations to help reimburse the family's trip to Washington, D.C.
COPS, which is an organization that actually funds officers to go to Washington, D.C. So what happens is they pay the family way to Washington, D.C. And what our goal is to try to make enough dollars so we can donate the money back to them.
The event had a great turnout.
It's very heartwarming, and I can't thank them enough.
There was food from the Marshall's cooking team and Zydeco music.
We love to dance, love the Zydeco, and just enjoying life, living our life like it's golden.
We just want to take care of our own. One thing about law enforcement, we brothers and sisters in law enforcement, and we come together, you know, when it's hard times. And one thing I do know, the community comes together with us.
That was Rodrika Taylor reporting. The Marshal believes the event was a perfect way to honor those who pay the ultimate sacrifice each and every day, and also for National Police Week.
Yeah. In Acadia Parish, a woman is dead and another in critical condition after a two-car crash yesterday afternoon. Now, state police say it happened on Highway 13 near Walter Robinson Lane. The driver of one car, 65-year-old Karen Bolage of Units, we're told, was killed. The driver of the other car, 31-year-old Jasmine Carrier of Crawley, was last listed in critical condition.
Lafayette police are investigating an overnight shooting. It happened at the 4400 block of Johnson Street early Saturday morning, just before 2 a.m. A 27-year-old man was found shot in the parking lot. Police say he's in stable condition. It's believed there was an altercation inside the business that spilled out into the parking lot. One person pulled a gun and began firing shots. Police say also 3 other people were beaten during the altercation. They've been treated and released from the hospital.
And speaking of shootings, a man was shot and killed, and it appears to be in self-defense. Carencro police say they were called to the home several times, and this was in the past, about a father and son fighting. The latest altercation, we're told, that turned deadly.
Carencro police say the tragic shooting happened here on Santee Royale Circle Wednesday night.
I was sitting in my car, I just drove home from work, and I heard a gunshot. My boyfriend, who was in the house, ran outside, and he made sure I was okay, and went around to the back of the building, and he said that a guy was shot on the ground, called 911.
Neighbors we talked to say they are shocked and saddened.
Very heartbreaking, you know. But having to shoot his son, I mean, you know, it's nothing someone ever want to do, you know. Just a tragic incident. You know, that's something he can always remember what he did, regardless of the situation at the time, trying to protect his daughter-in-law. It's a sad story already. There's no good ending to it.
The father and son were in this mobile home. 70-year-old Cuba Valeri and his son, 34-year-old Terrence Valeri, got into a dispute.
We are being told that it was a dispute between the younger Valeri gentleman and his girlfriend that turned physical, and the father tried to intervene to prevent his son from hurting the young lady.
The son pulled a knife on his father. The father pulled a gun and shot and killed his son.
The father had to make a decision, and that decision was to stop his son's aggressiveness.
And a hard decision that is. Chief Anderson says this appears to be a self-defense shooting. There are no charges filed at this time, but the evidence will be given to the DA's office for a final decision.
Family and friends spent the day searching for a missing man in St. Landry Parish. 36-year-old Nathaniel Melanson was last seen March 29th in Grand Coteau. The search started at the bridge in Krotz Springs. The Point Capee Parish Sheriff's Office reportedly found his car in the Sherburne Wildlife Management area at Whiskey Bay last month. If you know the whereabouts of Nathaniel Melanson, please call your local authorities or 911. The war wages on against drugs by law enforcement across the country, including here in Acadiana. In St. Landry Parish, the focus is shifting to the deadly narcotic, fentanyl. Sheriff Bobby Guidro says he has definitely seen an increase in fentanyl traffic. He tells News 10 he is ready to face the challenge head on and put office resources behind this crisis.
And it's so deadly that we're focused on stopping vehicles when violations are committed, of course, and we seem to believe it's working.
The CDC says more than 100,000 Americans died from drug overdoses between October 2020 and October 2021. 61% of them were linked to fentanyl. More than 32 tons of infant formula were packed and ready to be loaded onto military aircraft in Germany Saturday to be sent to the U.S. President Joe Biden said on Friday shipments would start arriving over the weekend. That's amid criticism of his administration's handling of formula shortage issue. The president also said on Twitter the initial flights under Operation Fly Formula meant that up to 1.5 million bottles will be coming to the U.S. shelves, and that's as soon as possible.
So what you can see behind me is a loading cargo buildup process for baby formula that is being sent back to the United States to medical facilities to help with the shortage of baby formula.
And the White House says the future deliveries of formula from Europe will be conducted by commercial aircraft. Wendy Gillette has that for us.
Anxious parents finding empty shelves instead of baby formula will get some relief starting this weekend when military aircraft filled with formula arrive in Indianapolis from Germany. The White House says 132 pallets of formula will be in the first shipment, the launch of the Biden administration's plan called Operation Fly Formula.
U.S. Transportation Command knows how to do this. In fact, they know how to do it better than anybody in the world. And they understand the tasking. They'll find the right sourcing solution.
The need is critical. South Carolina is the latest state to report hospitalizations. 4 babies are hospitalized at the Medical University of South Carolina because of issues related to the baby formula shortage. An Atlanta hospital has also treated children because of the shortage.
I have never seen anything like this.
Dr. Mark Corkins treated a toddler and a preschooler who were hospitalized in Memphis this week.
They come in dehydrated. You give them IV fluids, and we can give them nutrition by vein, but that's not a long-term solution.
The shortage was largely caused by the shutdown of the nation's largest formula plant in February because of safety concerns. The FDA says Abbott's Michigan facility is expected to be up and running again soon. In Indiana, where the first military shipment of formula will arrive, one woman started a Facebook group to help moms find formula. In just a week, it has 700 members.
All the help is just so needed, and I'm so very thankful, and I'm sure so many other families are very thankful as well.
About 1.5 million 8-ounce bottles of hypoallergenic formula will arrive from Europe in the next week. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.